Now, this is a very concerning story. Syrian state media claims that an Israeli woman has entered into Syria and been arrested by authorities. According to the report, negotiations are taking place to release the woman in return for the release of Syrian civilians who are being held by Israel. Just last night, the Israeli cabinet convened for deliberations regarding a recent incident related to Syria, and it looks like this could be it. Apparently, communications with Damascus on the matter are being mediated by Russia. Well, we have retired IDF Colonel Jacques Neria joining us, who's a former deputy head of assessment of the Israeli military intelligence. So what do we know so far about this case? Do we have any idea who this woman is or how she ended up in Syria?
Well, it's a very bizarre story. You know, the border between Israel and Syria is not a pasture field. You know, you have barbed wires, you have walls, you have a very complicated system to protect Israel on the one hand, and then you have a demilitarized zone between us and Syria. And we know that 200 meters from the observation posts of the UNDOF forces, we have the Hezbollah and militias that are pro-Iranian militias. So the whole story is that 2 weeks ago this woman has just passed through that system, and the identity of that woman is bizarre. We don't know who is that woman. What did she want to do? What did she want to achieve? And then the build-up that the government has done around it, as if this is, one of the most illustrious agents of Israel. So this is very, very, very unfamiliar, and I think that we have to wait in order to understand what is going on here. I believe personally that this is a chance for the Israeli government to initiate any talks or negotiations with the Syrian regime with the help and the assistance of the Russians. As you know, a few weeks ago there were rumors that circulated according to which Israeli officers had met Syrian officers under with the assistance of the Russians in the Hamamin base in the Russian base in Syria. So maybe this is a beginning of something else that we don't know right now. But limiting to this woman, I think that this is something we will find very easily, that this is a deranged woman that managed to cross the border and go to Syria.
So I'd like to speak more about Russia's role in mediating these negotiations. But first, what do we know so far about the negotiations that are taking place right now?
Well, according to what the Syrian has published, we are talking about an exchange of two Syrians held in Israel, two civilians, or sort of border crossers that were caught in Israel, in exchange for that woman. This is right now what has transpired from those negotiations, and according to the latest, it doesn't seem that this is enough for the Syrians. So this is what we know at this point, and the Russians are very much implicated, and the fact that the prime minister, the defense minister, the foreign minister, all are in this business, I think that this is far beyond this woman. We're talking about something else. Right. We're talking about another dimension.
Tell us about why Russia has been a channel between Israel and the Syrian administration in recent years, and what that actually means for the future of these negotiations.
Well, Russia is the one that has secured the Bashar regime's Assad. When he was falling and he was being defeated, Russia came to the rescue, and it was not the Iranians or Hezbollah who helped. It was Russia with its planes and its might that succeeded in stopping the advance of the rebels. And so, in a way, Assad owes his regime to Russia, and on the other hand, Russia is not ready to leave Syria into the hands of Iran. There is a reconstruction program in Syria, and Russia wants to be the one that is holding all the cards in Syria, and this is why its role is very primordial there.